thank you for inviting us into your home. Today's guest is Ms. Yolandera. I can't pronounce your name right. Yolandra Moody, and she is the Community Outreach Specialist for Senior Medicaid Patrol, right?
Senior Medicare Patrol.
Patrol, yes. And she's here today to share with us information that I really think you guys really need to know. So, thank you for coming on board.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I tell you what, tell me exactly what do you do?
Senior Medicare Patrol is in the business of educating Medicare beneficiaries, their family members, and their caregivers on how to prevent, how to detect, and how to report Medicare fraud.
Medicare fraud?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going along with that. So go on, continue.
Okay. Senior Medicare Patrol is a federally funded government program. It's been around for about 26 years, and it's been in Louisiana for about 15 years.
Okay.
And my job as a community outreach specialist is to travel throughout the state of Louisiana, getting the word out about Medicare fraud and about our program and what we can do to help people.
Yes, okay, that's good. Since you're traveling around the state, I'm assuming you're married?
I am married.
Do you take your husband with you?
He does come sometimes. We're both Medicare beneficiaries, so
Okay.
It's personal to us. And we're also both veterans, so
Okay.
That's a cause that's also personal to us.
Okay.
And there's a huge percentage of veterans that are on Medicare. A lot of veterans are under the impression that perhaps Medicare would cancel out their military benefits or vice versa, and that's not true. You can have both. So we just want to get this information into the hands of everyone, all Medicare beneficiaries at whatever age, who are all subject to Medicare fraud. We all are susceptible to it.
Yeah. When it comes to the veteran side, though, normally veterans are involved with the VA clinics.
Correct.
And VA takes care of their needs. I'm assuming that the Medicare, for those veterans who are on Medicaid, maybe they're not really senior citizens, haven't retired, do they fall underneath Medicare that way?
Yes. Once a veteran turns 65, they need to also apply for Medicare. Whether they're going to use it or need it or not, they still need to apply, so that if in the future at any point they need it, then they're not imposed with the lifetime penalty for not applying. And some veterans actually do use their Medicare benefits in conjunction with their VA health care, especially those that may live in an area and they may not have a VA facility or VA health care close to them. They can then use their Medicare.
That's how they use the Medicare?
Yes.
Okay.
To see local facilities, local doctors.
Well, that's good. Now, when it gets involved with the fraud, what type of fraud schemes or programs that's out there that would actually misdirect, I guess you can say, people
Yes.
in the wrong direction because of the not the correct information that is out there, and they follow, I hate to say it, they follow the internet.
Right.
And a lot of times the internet doesn't give you all the correct information. So that's why we are here trying to provide the vital information to veterans of information that they really need to know.
Absolutely.
So what type of programs, or rather what type of fraud schemes are out there that you've been faced with?
As we all know, there's fraud in every segment of society. Everywhere you look, you hear about fraud. We zero in on Medicare fraud. First of all, because Medicare is losing over $60 billion a year in Medicare fraud. That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
And that results in higher deductibles, ineligibility. Medicare fraud is something that we are all susceptible to. It's not about how smart you are, how intelligent you are. It's about the scammers out there who think that they are smarter and they are more educated. Fraud in a very simple definition, is theft. It's a theft of Medicare benefits.
Yes, yes.
It comes in the form of scam phone calls, which is the first thing that everyone thinks of because we all get those every single
Yes,
day.
yes.
But it's so much more. Fraud is about the theft of Medicare beneficiaries in the form of overpayments, in the form of identity theft, in the form of being charged for services, goods, medical equipment, hospital stays, clinic visits that you did not receive. Medicare fraud is in every corner of medical health care. It is about the money that may not be available for the program when our kids and our grandkids are our ages and need that. So Medicare years ago came up with the Senior Medicare Patrol program as a means of addressing that and trying to eliminate some of it.
Yes. Well, for those individuals, especially veterans, that were scammed, are you in a position to help them?
Absolutely.
And how do you do that?
Our program, first of all, is completely free to anyone that's in need of it. We want to first provide the education, but we are also here for those people that may become victims of fraud. We are a means of reporting fraud, and all it takes is a phone call. If someone has a question, if someone thinks they may have become a victim, or if in fact they are a victim, they call us. They are connected with what we call a critical claims specialist, and that person, complex interaction specialist, I'm sorry. That person will work with them, get all necessary information, and walk with them through the process of not only reporting it, but also trying to correct it.
Yeah.
Whether it's through a doctor, a clinic, a hospital, we will become directly involved and work with these individuals to get it resolved and taken care of.
Yeah. Well, when it gets involved with the scam side, other interviews I did with other people said the same thing, but the scammers are there. I'll put it this way. My uncle years ago told me, he said, Greg, for every one person that has money, there's two individuals out there trying to take it away from you.
Absolutely.
So in this case, you look at millions of fraudsters out there trying to take whatever advantage they can of veterans, especially veterans, but of course everyone else too as well. But your services that you provide lets the community know that there are some places that they can go to.
Absolutely.
And hopefully receive assistance in Medicare or taking care of the Medicare fraud issues or something of that nature. But we need people like you out there.
Absolutely.
You know, is there another type of program that will help veterans to engage with you on the fraud side? Is there some type of other program besides just, I guess I'm trying to say, what is the biggest scam out there?
There are so many scams out there. Probably the biggest thing going on right now is the telephone scams. And that's why we want to educate beneficiaries so that they don't later become victims. If I provide you with the education and give you the tools you need to avoid it, then that keeps you from going on to that category of becoming a victim. We impart upon Medicare beneficiaries when we speak to them, whether it's at an education session or a community event, we enforce that they should not answer phone calls if it's from a number or an individual that they're not familiar with. If they do answer that call, once they find out this is someone that doesn't have their best interests at heart, we encourage them to hang up, don't communicate with them, because they're looking for the smallest piece of information that you may think is not important, not significant, and that small piece of information, that back and forth conversation that you're having with them, regardless of how innocent it may seem, is leading to something bigger. Their primary goal is to get your Medicare number. Once they get that number, they will then start billing your Medicare account for
Okay.
services, for goods, for equipment that you never received.
Well, I'll tell you what, I do know, because of our technical age, I guess you can say we're in, sometimes I get a little frightened when I use my cell phone because it's open air, I guess you can say. It's out there in the open. And if somebody was able to get my account address or whatever, then they could tune in
Right.
without even trying to go into trying to find your Medicare. By me provided just on my telephone, going through the air to the receiver, if they capture it, that's one way of that they do that. And I'm just amazed. So I'm afraid of even giving my information out over the telephone.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you should be. And that's one of the things we educate beneficiaries about is never, ever, under any circumstance, give your Medicare number over the phone unless you are 100% certain this is my doctor I'm speaking to, this is someone from my doctor's office. Do not give that number out unless you're 100% certain.
Yes.
Because fraud occurs everywhere, in your doctor's office, in a clinic. There's all different types of fraud. There's virtual healthcare fraud, which is on the phone, on the computer, on your laptop, on your tablet. There is hospice fraud. There is durable medical equipment fraud. There is fraud in every area
You name
of
it, it's there.
healthcare. Yes.
Okay. As far as the educational side, do you do it by internet or like a virtual program, or you can do a face-to-face?
We will do whatever is necessary to get the message out. If you're having a community event, we come to the community event and we speak to beneficiaries. If you have a small group you're involved with, your church, a community group, a fraternity, a sorority, any place where we can find the beneficiaries, we're willing to go and speak to them. Small groups, large groups, big events, small events, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We just want to get the word out.
Yes.
If I give you the information, you're going to pass it on
Right.
to 20 other people
Yeah.
and so forth.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, lack of information or lack of knowledge puts everyone at a significant disadvantage,
Absolutely.
especially veterans.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I say that is because veterans have obstacles, barriers, and restrictions. That's on top of the everyday normal events that run in our life, the challenges in our life. That's on top of everything.
Right.
So sometimes people don't understand what we go through as a veteran, because we get involved, of course, everybody knows about the PTSD, but that in itself is a problem.
Absolutely.
So the veteran may be walking around okay, but it doesn't take much to send him back to the past.
Right.
And do some crazy stuff. But as long as we know that there's people out there like you guys that can be there to help them, in other words, you're just another alternative that they can go to.
Right.
Because I hate to say this, sometimes getting with the VA, there's a backlog. And because of the backlog, it may take a while before you get approved and get permission to see someone, stuff of that nature. But I tell veterans, the best type of advocate is yourself.
Absolutely.
Don't rely on anyone. I mean, even your doctors and the VA, constantly contact them. Let them know that you're calling because you need something done. And if you do it often enough, they're going to get tired.
Absolutely.
And they're going to give it to you. From my own personal experience, they connected me with a doctor and everything else, and I was saying, okay, that's fine. So it's been about a week. I said, the doctor hasn't called me, so I jumped on the VA and said, look, this is what's going on. I need to know what's going on. He said, well, Greg, you're the 151st person that's in line. I said, dang, how long is it going to take to get to me? And I started throwing a hissy fit over the telephone. Hate to say this, but 3 days later, I had my appointment.
We have to advocate for ourselves.
Yeah, we have to advocate for ourselves. And don't be afraid. I mean, the most they can do is say no, but don't just accept no, just keep on going. And for people like yourself out there who want to reach out to veterans and the community, understand this is a program that is designed to help you, and you need to take advantage of it. As far as I'm concerned, of course, for me, I may need your services, but I would like to invite you to some of my seminars or whatever else I get involved with and bring that to the table as well. Is there anything else that you might want to share with the community in the veterans about any other type of program that you think is vital that they should know about?
There are veteran fairs that are popping up all over our state, all the different parishes. I am on the road traveling several times during the week attending these fairs. These fairs are the best source of information for our veterans and for the community in general, because other businesses, other programs, other organizations are at these fairs giving you the information, opening the door for you, letting you know what is out there for you. Whether you need it or not, it's a great place that brings everyone together with all of the services and programs that are offered. So I encourage people, if you're on social media, events are advertised on Facebook, on Instagram, community calendars on our local TV stations. These fairs are highly advertised. And when you hear about one, I definitely encourage you to attend one of those, especially those are for veterans, because we have so many veterans that have no idea of what is available for them.
Yes, yes.
And these fairs are a great way to get a lot of information about a lot of programs, including Senior Medicare Patrol.
Well, I'll tell you, when I was a DVOP, or the Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialist, when I was working with the Louisiana Workforce Commission, I gained invaluable insight into the VA, the Department of Veteran Affairs. I found out that there are programs and processes, especially the process part, that veterans are not even aware of.
Absolutely.
So on that realization, that became my mission, to try to promote information, get involved with the right people, the correct people, to provide the correct information that veterans and the community will receive. For me, it was an eye-opener. And getting involved with the VA is good.
Absolutely.
And veterans, I hate to say this, but veterans of my era, of the Vietnam era, since we were treated in a negative and a hostile way back in the 60s, we don't want to have anything to do with the government or even with the VA. And I run across a lot of veterans like that.
Yes.
Why? Because we were treated like stepchildren, in some cases worse than stepchildren,
Right.
okay? But as a veteran, we deserve these benefits.
Absolutely.
We earned them because of our blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice in protecting this nation. We deserve to be, to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we pay with the ultimate sacrifice, and that's death. And there are a lot of young people that should be alive today that isn't, because of being placed in an environment where he died or she died. And it doesn't matter if you are, I'll put it this way, the moment that you raised your hand and said the Pledge of Allegiance, technically speaking, you become government property.
Yes.
Because they can send you and do anything they want with you. And if you complain, they throw you in the brig. It's just simple as that. So some veterans, regardless whether you are in service or not in service, connected, you're still a veteran. You had no say-so what's going on.
Absolutely.
But by putting yourself in a position to possibly give the ultimate sacrifice, America should stand up for veterans, big time.
Absolutely.
Because we are the reason that we are a free America today. And to me, the first veterans, they were those who signed the Declaration of Independence. And we've been fighting ever since. And this country is the greatest country on this earth. And I just hope everyone, including veterans, understand that this country is worth fighting for. And our veterans are willing to step up and put themselves in harm's way. And as far as I'm concerned, we should be taken care of, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We do this voluntarily. So I understand what you're saying, and I would like to get involved with you and your program more on a personal basis, I guess, so I can be in touch with you all the time. You can be in touch with me. But I want to, I guess you can say, partner with you.
Absolutely.
And in doing so, we can get the message out, because what is the saying goes? United we stand, divided we fall. Well, guess what? I hate to say it right now, our nation is being torn apart from the inside. There's nobody from attacking us from the international side.
Right.
This is domestic terrorism that's going on inside our country. And what are we doing about it? Some people are standing up for it, some are not. So I want to be those who are part of the solution rather than the problem, you know? So I would like to get involved with you, like I said. Is there anything else that maybe you might want to share? I know I've taken up some of your time, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
But if there's something else that you need to share with us that veterans need to know about, that will.
I just want all veterans to know that they are not alone. They have services available to them. I come from a military family. My father was a veteran. I had a brother that, like you, served in Vietnam. I have a son that's a veteran, and I'm a veteran. So it's a personal issue for me. And one of the things I enjoy most with my current job is that I'm able to help those veterans, you know, from a healthcare perspective. And the thought of a veteran feeling alone and neglected and being taken advantage of by any type of fraud is very distressing. Veterans and children and the elderly are our most vulnerable populations, and we all have a personal obligation to care for them and to do what we can and to help them. And my program, Senior Medicare Patrol, that's what we're trying to do with trying to help them avoid becoming victims of Medicare fraud, of any other type of fraud. We're just here to help.
Yeah, well, I do know, since being a DVOP and talking with veterans over the years, and I found that the Vietnam vets, I wish you guys were around back then with us, because there's a lot of programs that's out there right now that we could have taken advantage of, but there was nothing out there for us.
Right.
And it went years before anybody started doing something for the veteran. I hate to say that, but that's just actual fact. Just to give you some idea, I mean, I'm not trying to put the VA down, but they got backlogged and everything else. But I left the military in 1970, and it wasn't until 2010 that they finally let me into the VA system. So that's just my little 2 cents there. But since I've been in it, understand, they've taken care of me. I have no complaints, okay? But I'm sorry to say that this program is going to end, this interview, and I hope you will be coming back and doing another little program with us.
Definitely.
To share information. And let's just make this program work. Let this partnership thrive and continue to present information to the veteran community and the community as well. And all I can say is thank you. God bless the United States.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Okay.